lost business and even death threats. That's what a Colorado website designer has endured so far in her fight for free speech. Today, the Supreme Court hears her case, and the outcome could make an impact on Christian businesses nationwide.
Well, Lorie Smith is challenging a Colorado anti-discrimination law. She's claiming that it forces her to violate her faith. Heather Sells reports on this pivotal case.
Lorie Smith says her religious beliefs do not allow her to create websites for same-sex weddings. Colorado says that is discrimination. The Supreme Court will now decide.
I've always wanted to create custom artwork for weddings ever since I was a little girl.
Smith left the corporate world to pursue her passion for creating designs for specific causes. Given her biblical beliefs, she hesitated to include weddings after seeing how the state penalized Jack Phillips for refusing to bake a wedding cake for a same-sex couple.
I was cautious about continuing forward because I saw the way that the state of Colorado was treating other people of faith.
In 2018, Phillips defended his religious views at the High Court and won. The justices, however, ruled narrowly, saying hostile statements made by state officials toward him violated his free exercise of religion. Smith's case centers on the larger free speech question and the constitutionality of Colorado's anti-discrimination law. The state maintains wedding vendors must serve all ceremonies. Smith argues that violates her free speech.
It's a really intrusive and a really dangerous thing to tell an artist, you have to create something, you have to speak.
Religious freedom expert Lori Wyndham says this case is very important because protecting religious and political speech is the driving force behind the First Amendment. Colorado's stance, however, is that equal access in the marketplace is what's at stake.
Lorie Smith is fully free to choose what websites, services she provides to whom, as long as she does not make the choice to open a business to serve the public. Once she makes that choice, then and only then, she is subject to Colorado's law and has to serve everybody equally.
Smith's legal team disputes that.
Colorado agrees that she serves everyone regardless of sexual orientation, and she simply seeks to choose messages that are consistent with her beliefs.
And her counsel says a win for Smith would be a victory for all beliefs and viewpoints.
This belongs to the LGBT graphic designer who doesn't want to be forced by the government to criticize same-sex marriage.
After 6 years of pursuing this case, Smith has endured severe backlash, including lost business and even death threats. Another reason religious freedom experts say this case matters.
I think a win from the Supreme Court here sends a really strong message that even if somebody's religious beliefs are unpopular, that doesn't mean you get to silence them.
In an era where hostility to people of faith is more common, this case could set clear markers about what is and is not allowed in the marketplace. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Well, the Supreme Court has narrowed what they're going to consider. They're only going to consider the free speech aspects of this case. They're not going to take this on freedom of religion, free exercise of religion. They're just not doing it. They're doing it solely on, is this a limitation on free speech? And in that, they'll probably create a landmark case. But we'll see this nationwide. What's happening in Colorado, that there's a commission that's tasked. This wasn't someone who went to her for website services. It's because she posted on her website, I'm only going to do opposite sex websites. I want to celebrate marriage. I want to celebrate traditional biblical marriage. And the commission saw that and then brought this against her, saying, well, you can't do that. You can't open a business and then proclaim, I'm only going to do opposite sex couples. So this is a state action against a citizen based on what she put on a website, and they're saying this is discrimination. Now, this could be nationwide in just a few days if President Biden signs into law the repeal of the Defense of Marriage Act. And now there will be an equality under federal law for same-sex couples. Now what happens to every wedding planner, every wedding venue, every cake provider in the nation? What we've seen with Jack Phillips is about to be written across the nation. And again, more and more litigation. It's going to be a floodgate of litigation, and the Supreme Court needs to decide, do we still have freedom of conscience in the United States? Can you say, I only want to do biblical marriage, I don't want to participate in these other ceremonies? Do you have the freedom to do that?